Welcome back to another episode of Country Party. I'm Alexa. This is the online portion where I post my interviews. Today is with Chris from the Washboard Union. We talked about mental health, their latest song, Never Run Outta Road, and live music. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I imagine it's been pretty busy this week.
It has been busy. Yeah, it's been nice. The more busy it stays, the happier we are for sure. So the more we can be playing and writing and doing interviews and talking about music, it feels good. Feels like it's as normal as it could be.
I know. I feel like if I just try to keep focused on things that are normal, it's not so bad. But, and people say, so how are you? I think, well, I'm good if I don't think too hard.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. The last event before all this kind of thing started was Brett Kissel's release party for Now or Never. And you were there, actually.
That's right.
Running into you. So that was a really fun night. And since then, I've only been to one other event. That was the CMA Ontario Awards in September.
Oh, yeah.
And so now I feel like every event is going to be huge because they're just all so excited.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. The CMA Ontario group do such a great job. We were honored to be a guest of theirs and play with the Good Brothers and do a few tunes. That's got to be a couple of years ago now.
In Ottawa.
Yeah, that's right. They always do such a nice job.
Yes. Yeah. I grew up with the Good Brothers, actually. My dad was their tour manager.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting reconnecting with them now that I'm not 4.
Yeah.
And then the first time I met you, you thought these were pretty cool.
Yes. There you go.
I got a really great picture of you with them. So I thought I would bring them out in memory.
That's awesome. I remember that picture.
Yeah. So aside from writing and performing and doing little jam sessions with the guys, what's been helping keeping you positive this past year?
I'm really lucky to live in the mountains in BC, and a lot of my peace is found being out in the woods. And so I've really enjoyed that. I've tried to spend as much time as I can in the mountains, and that's just been fantastic. It's been fantastic for me for inspiration for writing, just for my own mental health, and just to not get sort of caught up in the quagmire. I think about it when we're on the road. I think, year before last, we were on a plane every week of the 52 weeks of the year. And when that's gone, it leaves a pretty big gaping hole in how you sort of go through your week. It's given us time for music. I've never been home this much in my last 10 years of my life. So that's been good. So I've been staying positive, but I will say that it's been music that's helped me stay the most positive during that time. Mm-hmm. Aaron, David, and I, because we write so much music together, being together really, really helps. There's just something special when the three of us get to be together as a group. So we're just doing as much as we can to stay focused on writing and playing. We've been playing live from the mountains. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just trying to keep my mind positive.
Yeah. What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, like I say, most of what I do is out in the woods. So I'm either out working in the fields, or we're up in the mountains fishing, or we're out on trails or hiking. I do a lot of snowshoeing in the winter.
Oh, cool.
And winter in the BC this year was just gorgeous. So I do a lot of that. During COVID, I tried to start learning Italian because we played in Italy and Spain summer before last. And I promised myself that when we came back to Europe that I was going to have a better handle on Italian.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So with the changes in the past year, it's kind of done a little bit of a number to us all a little bit mentally, but you guys are a band and you guys are still, keeping positive, like you said, jamming, and that's a good mental outlet for you guys. What characteristics does the Washboard Union have that just in general makes you guys work really good together?
Wow, that's a great question. I think the interesting part is at the core of all this are three guys who are best friends and have been together so much longer than the band even existed, and will be together so much longer after the days are done that we stop playing. Hopefully that never happens down the road. But Aaron and I have been together since we were 13 years old, when our parents started dating each other. Yep. We grew up as brothers. And so I think when you have something like that at the core, it's really powerful to go through, and it's easier to go through because you've got the other two to lean on. And I think as a group, when we settled into what we each bring that's unique and let strengths shine, because they're not the same as your own strengths, then you really start to turn on the magic. When you can really do that and realize that someone is strong in a particular area and you let them do that and be what they're so talented at being, then you can really start to have a relationship that just constantly refreshes itself. It's constantly new. And it happens on the fly. In a particular writing session, one of the three of us may just really be inspired and take off in a certain direction. And the other two are smart enough to just chase it rather than oppose it or try and put your own imprint on it. I think that's real valuable.
Yeah, I think too, maybe because of, like you said, growing up together and being so close beforehand, know each other's ins and outs and limits and what your strengths are, like you said too. So I guess that kind of has worked for being successful.
Yeah, and we make each other laugh. And
Yeah.
I think at the center of it, if this was all about having fun and getting out and traveling and playing the music that we wanted to play and write, the ability to do that and look over on stage and you can see your two best friends, you could see them at the age they were when you met them. Standing on stage with you, then you realize how blessed and lucky you truly are.
You need to see some pictures.
Oh God, there's some amazing ones. They come up once in a while, on your TV screen. If you have your phone hooked up to it, all your sort of pantheon of pictures from your phone come up.
Yeah.
And I see pictures of us from being kids and like Aaron and I graduating high school and, David and I traveling in Central America and stuff. And it's just wild.
So cool. So your latest album, Everbound, came out and now you're on the fourth single, Never Run Out of Road. It's, of course, your standard, usual upbeat, fun style, but it's a little bit different in terms of context from the other singles. What is it about this song that made you really want to bring it out as a single?
Well, it's interesting. We probably wrote 35 songs for Everbound, and it's difficult when you go to choose what ends up on a record. But there were some natural sort of ties between the songs that we chose for this record. And there's just this unconscious undercurrent of hope through all of these songs that are on this record. And Never Run Out of Road feeds into that whole piece. It's an interesting song in that it's as much a wish and a toast as it is a song. Look, we can't all be together all the time. There are going to be people in your life that you have to say goodbye to for a little while. And there are going to be people in your life that you reconnect with after a long time. And if you were to say something to those people, that's really where this song comes into play. It's that idea that like, I hope that the world loves you as much as I love you. I hope that you find nothing but incredible things and that you have the courage to open doors that seem daunting or have experiences that scare you or challenge you. Like, I hope you do all those things and never lose your sense of wonder. And I think if I could wake up with an ounce of that every morning, I would be on top of the world. And I think that's what we all strive to be back towards. So as a lyric, Never Run Out of Road, it comes from that place and that childlike wonder. As a song, it was just fun to write. We wrote that with a couple really good friends of ours. And I remember walking out of the room, like I've walked out of the room a few times where we've done a song and I can't stop singing it. And then I wake up the next morning and I can't stop singing it. And then we realized that the right voice for that song was David's. So David steps out on that song and he just does such a spectacular job.
Yeah, absolutely. That album came out right before society really started to change.
April 24th. Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally finished the last chord on that album in Nashville at the end of February. And then Nashville was hit by a tornado.
Right.
And then the world changed forever with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're really glad we released it when we did.
Yeah, a lot of people, they'll put stuff on hold and push things. Was that not an option for you guys, or you guys wanted to go through with it anyways?
Well, it wasn't always an option for us. It's just that we decided that we thought people needed this record during that time. We certainly needed to put it out. And when we realized that there was this sense of hope and limitlessness on that record, in a time that we've all gone through, which has been difficult to put it lightly, a record like that, we're hearing back from our fans that the fact that Everbound was something that they really needed when they were going through all of this, and that they found solace in certain different parts of the record. And as an artist or a songwriter, that's all you could ever hope for, that your song is meaningful to somebody in a way that helps them through a tough time or helps them say something they maybe couldn't find the words to say. So I absolutely am thrilled that we put the record out during that time. We don't sit around very well. So I think that, we're just excited to put out. So yeah, we're thrilled that it came out during that time and has had so much fun. I mean, from Country Thunder to Dock Rock and If She Only Knew, like there's a lot of different sides of this record and people have gravitated towards what they needed or loved at that point. And we just love hearing back that it was meaningful to people.
Yes. And I want to talk about the music video for Never Run Out of Road. That looks so fun. I love the beginning. Starts off like a vintage video game and then got right into like the go-karting tracks and the young couple. And how did that come to be? Because it's unique. Like it must be hard being in country, and a lot of country songs are the same kind of flow, but you guys are different because you're upbeat. But then how do you make a unique video to go along with it after having so many successes that you guys have had already?
Well, thank you very much for that. And that's a really great question. I think in general, we've always wanted to create videos that people weren't expecting. That's not to say there aren't beautiful country videos across the whole spectrum of country music, but we've always made ours stand out. If you think about the history of our videos, there are horse races. There's one about magic. There's one with puppets in it. There's one where the band gets chained to a stage and kidnapped by a bunch of kids. Like they're not probably what you'd expect from normal country videos. So we've always tried to do that. With these videos, we didn't know what was going to happen in BC in terms of lockdowns. So before we shot If She Only Knew, we decided, look, if we have the opportunity right now, let's shoot 2 videos back to back in the same weekend, because who knows when we're going to get a chance again to have a video. So we actually shot If She Only Knew and Never Run Outta Road in 48 hours.
Wow.
The actors, the 2 kids, are the same in both videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a storyline of sort of these 2 meeting during Never Run Outta Road and then falling in love If She Only Knew. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge sports fan, but the one sport that I watch, which drives the guys nuts, is F1 racing. So I'm a racing monster. I love it. And so 5 a.m, usually because the races are all in Europe, I disappear to a hotel lobby or the front of the bus or wherever we happen to be, and I watch F1. And now that there's been this documentary that's come out on Netflix, more and more guys from the band are joining me watching the races. So when we got the idea to do a racing video, and we got the keys to a go-kart track for 12 hours. So it started at 6 p.m. and went till 6 a.m. And I don't think the 3 of us came out of those cars the entire time. When they yelled cut, we were still doing laps. So it was just such a fun video to do, and I'm glad that came across. You're right, it plays on racing, but it also plays on like the video games that started it all, that we all grew up with as very little kids.
Yeah, it's very unique. I love it. And Everbound, just the name in general, how did that come to be?
Yeah, when we were going through these songs and trying to think about a title for this album, if you think about our last couple records, What We're Made Of was a song from that album. And In My Bones was a line from a song called Maybe It's the Moonshine. But we couldn't find the right lyric from this record that defined really what connected all these songs. And so not only couldn't we find the right lyric, we couldn't find the right word that described. So Everbound was a word we created that we thought just brought that sentiment to life, that sense of hope and wonder and all that great stuff. It just sounded like that captured the spirit we wanted to capture, not being bound by anything, the ability to sort of live in that anything's possible universe. And I think that that's what united these songs, and that's what we wanted to get across. Plus it just looked cool when we wrote it down.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys are like itching to get back on the road, as are many people very excited to see you guys live again. Who would you like to see live next?
Oh, wow. That's another you got great questions.
Thank you.
There's some friends that I'd really love to see live again. I would really love to see the Old Dominion boys again. We've been staying in touch with them. They were on our Christmas special, and I'd love to see those guys live in because I know how excited they are to get out back on the road. I think on the Canadian side, it's going to be great to hook up with really close friends of ours and see them live again. The High Valley boys are obviously friends of ours, and the Hunters, and it's just so many of our friends that I'd love to see live again. I think in the States, I'd love to see Jason Isbell. I'd love to see Old Crow Medicine Show play and just drink in all the great creativity that they've got going on.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you again in person soon.
We would love that. It's great to see you healthy and happy, and we'll wish everybody who's listening and watching right now the same. We can't wait to see all of you. And as soon as it's safe to be back out on the road, we're going to be.
Alrighty.